Hello, good morning. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Soribalde. We are back again on another edition of QTV this morning, wherever you're watching us from. We are broadcasting from our studios on Karaba Avenue, West Africa, the Gambia, and our address is Serekunda as well. And I am joined on the platform by my colleague and my co-host as well, Julde Njai. Julde, good morning.
Good morning to you, Balde.
You are all drip today.
Thank you.
You are always drip.
Thank you.
How are you?
Appreciate nako. Alhamdulillah. Footstepi Churchill Balde lagi.
Well,
Drip master.
A drip king.
So good morning to you. Good morning to our viewers from wherever you're watching us from. It's always good to be back in this platform. So stay tuned as we bring you the latest happenings in the country and of course around the world.
Absolutely. We will never relent talking about the happenings. I mean, as they happen, we bring them to light, so that our viewers can understand actually what is happening as well. Yes, on the platform we'll be joined by MS Ba, the president of the Gambia Press Union. He will be on this program and we'll discuss many things and his recent trip to America.
Yep.
So it's important for us to discuss some of the experience and he would be in a very good position to take us through that. We'll be looking at the newspaper reviews as well. And our sponsors, Lido Olinda Tea Cow Milk. If you want to take a very good coffee in the morning, Lido Coffee is the best for you. And of course, if you also want to, enjoy the best of teas, I mean, Olinda Tea, we have the green tea and we have the pure Ceylon tea as well. The cow milk comes in different, creams. You have the full cream and the semi-cream as well. Yes, so we'll delve straight into, some of the things that are happening. So, Julia, after the OIC summit, we've seen a lot of, a lot of conversations surrounding the OIC in connection with some of the discussions. So, I don't know what have you made of that. I mean, what do you think of all the discussions made at the OIC?
I mean, people have divergent views as far as the hosting of the OIC is concerned. But, what is true and what is factual is that it comes with a lot of benefits and developmental, agendas that the government is currently implementing, such as roads, the renovation of the airport. You have seen the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center and a lots of host of other projects that are ongoing. So, thank God, we cannot dispute the fact that we had a successful summit. And, we understand that this is the first time we are hosting, such a big event. And it requires a lot of things, logistical preparations and all of that. And I know that along the way we will find, we will have difficulties along the line. But I am glad that everything went well. And the delegates are happy and they've gone back to their respective countries safe, which is the most important thing for me, because it's having to have heads of state come to your country, but it's another also for them to go back to their country safe, considering everything that is happening around the world, the conflict and terrorism, extremism, Islamophobia and all of that is happening in the country. So I am really glad that it was a success. And for me, what I keep emphasizing since the start of the summit was the fact that, there should be that sustainability. The theme of the summit should align with our developmental agenda and aspirations.
Absolutely.
In as much as we had a successful summit and it's gone, but some of these works that are ongoing should be continued. And we should be taking very good care of the already existing infrastructural developments that are already in the country.
True.
And we should not relent in our quest as far as development is concerned. And I think that this summit is a wake-up call for the Gambia that we can do it. We are small but mighty. We are small in size and population, but we can do it like any other country, because we are actually the second country in the sub-region to host such a very magnificent and big event.
Exactly. I mean, we have the president of the Gambia Press Union. MS, you can just come take your seat. We'll be discussing a lot of things here today. I mean, we miss you. I mean, It's good to have you on the
Papa
program once
Emes.
again. So I can feel the American
Americana.
breeze, you know, the American dream. You know, good morning, Emes.
Good morning, my beautiful daughter and my brother. Good morning.
America ona chakan. On the Makoru Sansi.
Before Sansi,
Less than a month and you have changed, my
Ah,
brother. We're living the American dream, man.
Yeah.
You know, so how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's a pleasure having me. Good to be here, back here and have a nice discussion with you guys.
First of all, we will delve straight into the newspaper review. We'll take a look at some of the papers making headline. And of course, then we will end up with your trip. But Julda, you want to say something?
Yeah. Hence you said we will end up with his trip. That's good to do because I'm really optimistic or enthusiastic to know what he has in store for us. I know that he had a lot of engagements with different personalities, you know, in the media industry.
All right. So on the Point newspaper, the main headline is saying Ombudsman urges abolishment of confinement cells in prisons. I mean, confinement cells, I mean, you have them in most prisons, you know, so now the Ombudsman's office is saying, I mean, let them abolish, you know, confinement cells. I mean, what do you have to say about this, Emes?
It's a good move if the ombudsman is raising that such issue or issues with regards to human rights, looking at the human rights perspective. I've also seen the National Human Rights Commission talking about giving rights to prisoners going through their report. So I think it's important because if you look at the Gambian context, prisoners are neglected, like in terms of giving them some of their rights, though, you know, some of their rights obviously could not be given fully, but some of the rights has to be respected. So if Ombudsman is taking a proactive step towards looking at issues and then confronting them, I think they should be more proactive as well, not just focusing on the prison, the confinement issues. That's a very good thing, I think.
But there are many issues surrounding.
There are a lot of issues, employment. I think they also have to look into extending their mandate, not only within the public sector. It has to go beyond just the public sector. They have to look into the private sector, for example, because it's a platform or it's an institution where people can go and complain in terms of dismissal, you know, abuse of certain rights, employment rights. So I think, or I believe that they have to, by extension, if you look at the market. But that is a good thing. They also, the Ombudsman also should be coming out and speaking, you know, because you hardly see the Ombudsman office coming out speaking on issues like this, coming out speaking on employment issues, issues that are affecting people both in the public and private sector. So this is a good move, but it has to be, they have to really work, you know, because there are a lot of issues.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing, MS, to point out some of the issues, but it's another thing to implement, you know, some of these things. I mean, we know there are many, you know, laws that are gathering dust in ourselves. So I think it's important for there to be a proactive stand in order to implement certain things.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Institutions should be very proactive. They should not be reactive. Looking at the global standards in terms of prisons, we should also look into these things, you know, looking at other countries, you know, best practices, they call it. And then also look at our realities in context, not just to also copy and paste, but at least learn from others.
Align with,
exactly, but also look at our realities and our context. I believe it is important also what are the conditions of the confinement, why the confinement, all these things should be asked. And also, you know, what are some of the effects that 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 are seen when people are taken to confinement. For example, and even generally the condition of the prison. The prison.
It's supposed to be a rehabilitation center.
Exactly. Rehabilitation instead of now people are going towards, countries are going towards correctional centers and rehabilitational centers rather than just punishing people. Because what happened, we've seen people that are offenders, repeated offenders, they are released from prison, they are back into the society, and they commit other serious crimes, and they are back there. So I think it's important, let them look at it holistically. But the ombudsman itself should be more proactive, not just to piecemeal, look at issues in piecemeal. You understand? They have to look at, they have to be more proactive.
Well,
you hardly hear ombudsman.
My main concern, with the office of the ombudsman is most people don't even know they are responsible.
Exactly.
I mean, especially even those that are educated doesn't even know what they do. Talk less of those who are not even educated. So I think these are things that should be communicated, and they should be sensitized to the general public so that they know the office of the ombudsman. This is what it stands for.
There is a constitutional provision. I cannot recall the relevant section, but it's a public complaint office where people go and complain in terms of, but they are also, their mandate is limited to public officials, like people, civil servants mainly. And also sometimes people tell you, like sometimes when you, take probably the government there, or you have a complaint, it takes time to address these issues. And also transparency and accountability. And also public declaration of assets. These public officials, they declare their assets to the ombudsman, and no one knows what is happening there. So I think they have to be more proactive in terms of delivering services and making sure that they are more proactive and accountable.
So the National Human Rights Commission recommends introduction of price control. For far too long, we have been talking about the issue of price control. We have some people who believe that it's not of interest to Gambians, and others are saying that it's the only way to actually regulate these soaring prices in the country.
Economists, some will tell you it's a free market. Some will tell you it's going to be difficult. But if the Human Rights Commission is coming with a suggestion that there should be, for me, I believe, at a certain degree, yes, there should be. At least government should be monitoring the market, looking at the realities, looking at, because there was a waiver on, I could recall, a few years ago, on certain commodities. But like, it's not impacting. So like they will tell you, these people are not paying tax, there's a waiver, blah, blah, blah. But now, every day you see these markets are like, these commodities are skyrocketing. So what is the essence of the waiver? They will tell you, no, hadn't been there was no waiver, it would have been, for example, instead of 1,000, it would have been 2,000. But ordinary Gambians may not understand those things. I think it's important, price control. For me, at a certain degree, yes, government should be very much involved into looking at the market, the taxes, the importation, the duties, and everything holistically, and then looking at the market.
Because funnily, you buy a product for 200, for instance, today, and in the next 2 days, if you go there, they increase it to 225 or 250, and they will tell you that
in the morning, the same day.
I don't get it.
In the morning. So like sometimes you buy things today, like this morning, you can just go to a shop and then say, okay, what is this? The tea bag cost how much? They can tell you, okay, maybe $100. In the evening or afternoon, you go there, it is 125. Like those kind of things.
They are taking advantage of the situation.
So I think it's important. Government should definitely also be engaging not only just control price, but look at it holistically. Like, look at the realities. Engage the business people, know the problems. Maybe they know, I don't know, but like, let them try to make sure that they are on top of issues and address this, because everybody will tell you, you know, and also let them make sure that people are paid well, you know. People are paid, yeah. People
it's important,
are,
yeah.
you know, Gambia should even have a minimum wage. Like, there should be standards, standardized, just like other countries. You know, hourly rates, weekly rates, or monthly rates, or whatever. We should have that. Let it commensurate, because
some of these labor laws should be really
exactly, the labor laws should be looked at, and then people should be paid well. You know, because that is why we have inflation. People are still paid less, both the public and the private sector. There should be, you know, like, looking at the labor laws as well. We should have a proper minimum. I think it was $50 is 50 something dollars is like, those are archaic laws that are really here and still.
Is that 50 per hour? Or?
Yeah, I think 50 per hour. Thereabout.
Yes.
So $50.
Well, you know, I mean, it's the responsibility of every person. I mean, you know, to eradicate some of the challenges that we are facing as a nation. I mean, MS, let's be realistic. I mean, price control, fine. We all talk about price control, but we are not going to control prices by word of mouth. You understand? It involves a lot of you know, different combination for you to be able to control a price. When you look at it, I mean, the importer, this person, is, you know, buy goods from another country to your country. You understand? So you don't know how much he bought these goods for. So when they come to the Gambia, I mean, we all understand. You know, there is difficulty sometimes in getting some of these things, but it's important for us to also take up responsibilities as a nation. I mean, for us to eradicate poverty and eradicate some of the challenges, I think we need to be able to, I mean, introduce certain things.
Or
like
invest heavily in agriculture.
Do you think, for example, in 2030, corruption will be eradicated in the country? In 2030.
In 2030?
Yes.
I mean, you went to
no, I'm just asking.
You went to the U.S. Few weeks back you were in the U.S. Even the U.S. they did not achieve eradicating corruption.
No, I mean poverty.
Poverty.
Yeah, I mean
by 2030.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there are commitments. For example, even a global commitment in 2030 that there will be no poverty. There will be no, like, making sure that everyone has food. Yes, the SDGs. So these are commitments, you know. And then Gambia is part of it. The US, I know it is probably, it's maybe unrealistic, but are we just moving towards that direction, like in Africa
at what
generally?
Level?
Yes, and at what level that are we moving towards that dimension?
No,
so these are issues. For example, the price control we are talking about, inflation rate. You know, we know that these are also attached to global shocks. But how is Gambia mitigating that? Is also the question. Are we tapping into the green economy? Are we tapping into the blue economy? Are we also making sure that people are well paid? You understand? Sometimes we say, yeah, you know, people are corrupt or whatever, or people are cannot afford basic commodities or whatever. But what are we asking these questions? Are we also moving towards this direction? You know, so I think it's something that really, as a country, you know,
everyone have a role to play.
Exactly, we have a role to play.
It's not just the government,
but
even the private sector, if they have initiative that they believe that could help the Gambia in terms of their food security, I mean, they can come forward. We've seen Hamidou Jah coming forward, and we've seen Mohamed Jah also,
those
coming forward.
You know, because rice, I cannot like understand why we are still importing rice.
Nice.
Correct.
You understand?
You see, that's my point.
Yeah. Other countries are like Thailand and other countries.
That's my point.
You understand? They are producing, Japan, they're
Yeah.
producing. And Gambia is a small country.
That's my
So
point.
if you go to other countries, like for example, even East Africa, like Tanzania, Kenya, those people are producing a lot of local produce, and then they are even exporting it. So like those are things that, like onions, you know, Maudo, onions, you know, we can grow it here.
Even
Yeah.
at your backyard, you can
Exactly.
get onions
You know,
for.
like
Absolutely.
so these are the
And
kind
now
of
we are
initiatives.
in the mango season. You know, lots
mango
of these.
season.
You see
And
them rotting mangoes everywhere.
MS, you know, I wanted to say, I think sometimes we are very lazy. I mean, we as a country, we don't take up the chance that we have. We have all the opportunities.
we are also misplacing our priorities.
We have, exactly, we have
Maybe
all
we
the
are
opportunities.
misplacing our priorities.
Priorities,
Maybe also
and
as
we
a
tend to
country.
rely a lot on the government. We think it's only the government that can develop this country.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a misconception. The central government cannot do it alone.
Yeah. Or maybe,
Yeah.
maybe we are also not, like as a country, we are not we don't know probably the vision, our vision. Like we don't have a
clear vision.
a common vision where we say, okay, this is the Gambia's. You understand? Something
Stance
like that.
on, yeah.
Okay, how are we going to achieve these things? So these are things. Government have to be very also proactive in terms of creating that environment.
Exactly.
And making sure that things are put in place and making sure that institutions work.
And let them give the job to the right people.
Yes.
You know, I was discussing with a friend this morning. We were driving to work. He said to me, look, if you go to Sukuta, Brufut, the gutters, dog just at the sides of the road that leads to Sukuta. He said at some point you will not have anywhere that can that you can use to access your home. Those living around that area, they will have to park their vehicle somewhere because they cannot access it. I said, then that's carelessness, because you know this is a compound gate. You need to create a way for them. You understand? And at some point too, if you come to Kairaba Avenue, you can see that gully there. You cannot see where, if you create a gully, you have to allow the water to flow. But at some point, they block that place. There is no place.
So how is the water
So
going to
how
flow?
is the water flowing?
And then you're committing a
at some
problem
point,
that
there will be stagnant water.
And then the flooding, of course, you know. So I think also personal responsibility, like we also as individuals in this country, you know, so to say, but we lack that discipline. We lack that orderliness. We also, I think also we have to also revisit how our local councils are. What are their roles and responsibilities? You know, in other countries, I don't want to be using maybe the Western countries. Let's just say Africa. You know, even if it is as simple as parking, if you park where you are not supposed to park, the local councils, their police, like like for example, let's say KMC, their police will give you a ticket and you have to pay.
Yeah.
So how is the work of the government, main government, synergizing with the work of the local councils to address the needs and aspirations of the people at the ward level? So I think we have to, these are the discussions that we have to do, so that it is not just the central government, but also the local councils. What are their rules to ensure that there is orderliness? Look at, I was coming from around Talinding, like, you know, the park. So I took a diversion around the park. There is, like, people started having a garage there, and then they started throwing this stuff, trash. And you see indiscriminate dumping is like, it's rampant now. And no one is addressing it. And one is the people that are throwing the garbage there. But now, who is policing those people? Who is ensuring that they don't throw that garbage? And whosoever you know, does that, you're penalized. You understand? So there is a problem, but I think also attitude, the discipline, the orderliness, the responsibilities of public officials, you know, across the board is also a problem. You know, when you say attitude, it has to be at the individual level and also at the public, like at the authority stage. It goes across the board.
You have to get that, I mean, willingness to love your country. I mean, love for country is very important. So, well, Evans, now let's delve into, I wanted to look into a story on the Foroyaa newspaper.
Okay.
I think it's important for us to take a look at that. I think there is a land dispute somewhere and it's preventing the students from going to school.
Yeah.
I think if I can access that story, then we will, okay. Here it is. School halts classes pending unsolved land issues. I mean, I wish I could go into detail to know, you know,
I've not. I also just read
the village and the place.
Exactly.
You know,
and
what
the
leads to
and
it.
the problems.
You know, but I think these are things that the ministry should handle at their level. You know, schools shouldn't stop, classes shouldn't halt
because of a land dispute.
Because of a land dispute.
So it's sad. I'm sure maybe if authorities are aware, let them just go there and make sure that the issue is addressed as soon as possible.
Yes. So, Evans, I mean, tell us your trip, about your trip to the U.S.
What do you have in store for the Gambian media?
In fact, what is the main reason?
The trip, like it's called the International Visitors Leadership Program, the IVLP. It has different branches, like it has different sectors, for example. So I went to, I was nominated. You're nominated by the U.S. Embassy, like probably individuals thriving in their professional career. You know, so I was nominated, and then to attend one of the programs called the Edward R. Murrow Fellowship. This program, like Edward Murrow was, you know, a veteran broadcaster. You know, he's late. He's called the father of broadcasting in the U.S. Like he has initiated and championed broadcasting in the U.S. and journalism in general. So this fellowship was named after him. So you're giving a chance to meet professionals, you know, basically. So our main focus was on the traditional media and the new media. Basically on media development, because we've seen, like, for example, the traditional media in many areas, like their norms, their normal traditional way of doing things is dying down. And there is an evolution, and as a result, it is killing the normal way of doing things. For example, so what were the strategies that, for example, America, the U.S. Now to see a newspaper is so difficult. Like newspaper production, normal newspaper production.
Wow.
Yes, it has, like, people don't subscribe.
It's fading now.
Yeah, it has faded, right?
Yes.
You know, so those are realities, and the realities will come because obviously whatever affects the other parts of the world. And we've seen it now, you know, news that you will see online, and then probably
even the Gambia, most people.
It is happening now. You are competing with we are competing with the traditional is competing with the new media. So now, how can the traditional evolve from their normal setting, normal way of doing things? So it's called media development, and also media literacy. We were exposed to media literacy. We visited professors, like people who did extensively research on this. And, you know, and the research was not only based on the U.S., like there are research that, you know, were conducted in Asia, Africa, you know, those kind of research. And we've also done media literacy, the use of AI, artificial intelligence. The pros and the cons, like the importance, and also, you know, AI is also competing with the media because there are, you know, there are bots, like fake bots that people create, you know, like this big countries, you know, or individuals who are within the global stage, trying to, you know, sway people's understanding on issues. we've seen it's affecting people now. You will see that they will say, okay, country X has dominated country Y.
Why? Yeah.
You understand?
The realities are fading
Exactly.
gradually.
So you will see that, and people start sharing it without confirming whether it's true
It's
or not.
true,
Yes.
yeah.
So these are bots, even bots that are paid or designed to sway, like the Russia-Ukraine war, the Palestine, Israeli war. You know, there are certain narratives that each country will, you know, propel
Portray, yeah.
just to sway people. These are realities. So we also disinformation, misinformation, many
So
other things.
What stood out for you?
Yes, a lot stood out. For example, the media literacy aspect of it. Media literacy, even journalists, media like us, who are professionals, like we need media literacy. Media literacy is one, how to manipulate, how to understand, how to consume content that you see. Sometimes you see media people, like people getting something from somewhere and then publishing it on their news
Without
outlets.
having to verify.
Yes, so media literacy is key.
It's very important.
That one, if everyone is a media literate, then it becomes easy, you know, to understand the news, to consume the news, and to manipulate even. How do you utilize the media, both the online, the digital, let's say, and then traditional media.
As the GPU president, what impact do you think your trip will have to Gambian media?
Yeah, a lot, because now I am here. I want to share my ideas. For example, I've been thinking of even not only the media fraternity, because this thing has to deal with authorities. One of my propositions is to reach out to the ministry and the executive to see how best I can also discuss with them on this. Not only that, because they also have a responsibility, for example, media development in terms of support, that is financial support. Because all these countries now, that is what they're doing, because you don't allow the media to die. How are you going to support the media?
We've seen that recently. The government disbursed $40 million to certain media houses.
Yeah, but certain. For us, we are talking about the media as a whole. You understand? How do you ensure that you institutionalize, like, support through the public, through public funds? You know, making sure that the media is on the right footing, the media is empowered to hold government accountable, because we really
exactly. I mean, when you mention to support the media, I mean, I said, okay, fine. How are we going to support the media? Who is going to support the media? Because sometimes, if certain bodies support the media, they control what the media does and what they say.
No, not the, like, what you do is has to go through a certain way, and procedures and proceedings. I will give you an example. For example, the Voice of America, you know, it's an act from the Senate. Like, they get their monies directly from the U.S. government. It's from the federal coffers.
Okay.
But their editorial independence is questionable. They even took the government, the federal government, to court. You know, there was a time, that was a long time, you know, where they felt their editorial independence, like there was a bit of pressure. So they, just to draw that line, fine line, that no, you can give money because this is public money, but you cannot and should not interfere in what we do.
In what we do.
You understand?
Yeah,
but because we are a democracy, if the media dies, our Gambian democracy will die.
Absolutely.
So, but how are we allowing the media to die because of they could not get financial assistance?
Yeah.
So that's
So thank you,
something.
MS. Thank you very much for you know, reviewing some of the stories with us, and we wish you all the best of luck. Make sure you go and share what you've learned from the US.
I'm free.
With our
And I can't wait.
Anyone can engage me.
I
and
can't
media
wait.
house can
Yes,
engage me. I
exactly.
can come and share with people.
I mean, so viewers will take a short break. After the break, we'll talk to the NAWEC team on this program. As you know, NAWEC also played a very important role when it comes to the OIC. So they made sure we have enough electricity at the OIC. I'm not sure whether we have electricity at other parts of the Gambia. But we will definitely, because I mean, we remember we had guests in this country, so we don't want them to take our name.
Yeah.
So let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Technology has always been at the forefront of our lives, and the way we use it has evolved drastically over the years. With the advent of 5G internet, we are entering a new era of technological innovation that promises to transform the way we live, work, and play. 5G internet is capable of providing data speeds up to 100 times faster than 4G, making it the ideal solution for streaming high-quality videos, playing online games, and downloading large files on the go. 5G internet is already transforming cities across the globe, powering smart cities, self-driving cars, and virtual reality experiences that were once thought impossible. 5G internet is also paving the way for Internet of Things, allowing for seamless connectivity between devices and the creation of a truly connected world. For the first time in the Gambia, QCell is bringing tomorrow's technology to you today with the launch of QCell 5G Internet. Get ready to experience the out-of-this-world wonders of QCell's 5G Internet. For more information, call 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell moy suñu boss. QCell moy suñu boss. QCell moy suñu boss. Soro. Go, ebe dawa full network suda tili QCell. Ni lafta diamla wati jamala mune diata QCell. Most reliable network jumala keta wati QCell. Wo quality man nyon soda jam pona manke QCell. Hanibe wulo ni farole kono walante be bako na jala fayola network ko se taria QCell sunyu boss. Nyo finjeka indi 3G ñu delu taxi 4G plus and now we bring you 5G. 5G. First and only 5G provider. Sunyu boss. Itella follow adi doron nesa keno. Sunyu boss. Gambia bela nyon tawa fele QCell. Sunyu boss. Ko fasunta buka busi QCell. Sunyu boss. Itella molti milka kukutol nati Gambia QCell meta lori la kilianol yele imanyina amanda wala itella ka quality dila dadi ma itelle silo wala wodol mume be keno ma QCell sunyu boss QCell sunyu boss QCell sunyu boss QCell sunyu boss connection be bambandi QCell sunyu boss QCell most innovative QCell sunyu boss.
You asked for it, and QCell is giving it to you with our new and improved Sunyu Bundle Mega Promo. Now you can get more data at cheaper prices. Buy any of our bundle packages and enjoy massive discounts. Dial *303# and enjoy browsing on the network with the biggest coverage. Buy a 20 megabytes data bundle for as low as $7 and 50 bottles today, or purchase bigger bundles up to 20 gigabytes. Yes, that's right, 20 gigabytes of data at your fingertips. With our mega promo bundles, you can browse more, chat longer, and stay connected on the go, anytime, anywhere. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply. Q Money is back again with an...
You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Asuri Balde. Now let's move on to the other segment of the program. And I have Buba Baji from NAWEC and Uncle Per Silva. They're in the studio right now. We'll be talking about their performance, the OIC. As we've seen, many people were talking about mbana wek duñu disgrace ñu ñëw ba ci digare kurang dem suñ gani stadine dikabi, but I mean that did not happen. So we deem it necessary to invite you so that we can talk about it, and also thank you for a job well done. Although many people were like, we did not have electricity, but I think you will be in a better place to take us through that. So gentlemen, you are welcome on this program.
Thank you.
Yes, so
yeah. Okay, yeah, good morning to those wonderful listeners, as Mr. Bas said. Good morning, Julia. Yes, first, you said almost you've opened the way that we have had a successful OIC, a seamless one when it comes to our services. As you said, yes, some will say we did not have, we accept that. That's why we are using all the channels that we have, including this one, to say we are thanking everybody, especially our customers out there. They stood by us during that time. It's not because they stood by only Nawek, but by the Gambia, because the OIC was not for an institution, it was for the whole country and the Ummah at large. So for me, and us at Nawek, it's like we make sure that we have everything in place so that we can have it successful, because the name that is going out there, it will not be said by Nawek, it will be like Gambia hosted the OIC. In doing that, I know some people here and there pay the price of without getting electricity. But as we go into the topics, we would definitely talk about that much.
You guys owe us an apology because you are manjading so far like 8 hours or more without electricity.
Well, that's an apology from the chairman board of directors down to the managing director. After the last person, me being the last person in Nawek, we are saying we are so sorry and we are apologizing, and we'll continue to say sorry so long we have done that. But definitely, so by now Manja is with electricity, okay? So Julia will be happy now. But Julia will also be happy that OIC there's no interruption when it comes to the electricity and water. It's a very successful one, yeah.
Yeah, so Mr. Silva, please take us through, you know, what was the things that were put into place to make sure there is constant electricity at
water,
the, yes, electricity and water at the OIC.
Thank you very much for your invitation. One thing I want our viewers to understand is now we don't have a problem of capacity, the amount of electricity that we require to supply everybody in this country is available. But we keep telling wherever we are going that we have the problem of the network infrastructure. And this is when we generate electricity from the power stations, the carriers, the gadgets that we use to transport that capacity to the households or to the businesses is where we have some issues. The transmission and distribution infrastructure is aging. And this is why we had some funding from the World Bank trying to modernize the T&D infrastructure. But we are still on that work when the OIC came in. Although we had some fund from the OIC to try to regulate the issue of electricity and water. But since the OIC projects are ongoing projects, even the road construction are still going after the OIC. Likewise, now some of the projects that we had some funding from the OIC budget is still ongoing. So when the OIC came, what NAWEC did and management was to put up a task force that they called the Proactive Preparedness Team. It was headed by the Deputy Managing Director. And some of the things that they were looking at is to assess where NAWEC has some weaknesses, to identify some of the areas that we need to work on as soon as possible. And some of those areas where the OIC Conference Center and the vicinity, that is the corridor where the OIC hosts or the guests were being hosted. And this was why those who live around that vicinity had some sort of load shedding during the period, because the feeders and the transformers that we are supplying them were overloaded. And if we want to allow them to be given regular electricity as the OIC centers are also going to benefit, that means those transformers will end up having problems. They will trip off. And when they trip off, that means they have some technical or mechanical problems where NAWEC will have to look for some money again in millions to acquire those transformers. This was why we need to do some decongestion. Some of those overloaded transformers were decongested. And those who were being cut off from that grid were the people who lived within that area, because we need to stabilize the system to be able to give regular electricity to the areas that we are giving electricity to the guests. And that was why we had some load shedding. But prior to that, and in collaboration with this task force team, I think the PR and communication team sat up and said, let's give a prior information to our customers to tell them that at the moment what we are working on is we are putting up a team to make sure that all the gadgets that we are using to transform and supply electricity at the OIC center and the surrounding hotels where they're going to be accommodated are given priority. And those who are residing within that area will experience some sort of interruption in the electricity supply because we cannot overload these transformers. And that was why people started talking. It is true that as a customer, they are customers who are going to live with us even after the OIC, because they are the people who give us money to be able to go on with our daily operations. We need them much more. But the good name of this country, which is why the OIC is here, and to maintain that good name and to have our guests go home with the good name and the smile, the Gambia being the smiling, because it's not about smiling to people. It's about getting the right thing on the right place to make sure that the guests or the strangers that you are getting from outside are given the much needed attention that they require, so that they will go and sing that Gambia is really the smiling coast because we've got everything that was in place.
Yes. Okay. It's important. Yes, I will let me
Just a follow-up question to what he said earlier. You mentioned the fact that there was money given, an agreement signed between the Secretariat and NAWEC. How much are we talking about here?
I don't have the figures. I don't know if Buba, I don't have the figures. Buba, do you have the figures?
No, actually, there was no MOU between between NAWEC and the OIC to say this money is particularly to make sure that we have a successful, as we said, like the road projects had come. NAWEC also had its share from the OIC, that is the infrastructure.
Around 2.5 million.
Perhaps, but not, here that's a confusing, because I saw some media reports saying you've been given money, why are you putting out on load shedding? No. You see, the works are ongoing. As we speak today, we are drilling almost 8 boreholes ongoing. That contract has been signed.
But the confusion here is,
yes,
if they are saying the OIC has provided money to NAWEC, perhaps that money has not gone to NAWEC's coffers. If you look at people doing some relocation of our poles from one place to another, some people relocating some of our pipes from one place to another, that money was given to the people that the contractors who were doing the road. Well, as a layman, if you see somebody relocating a pole, the mind comes to this is NAWEC. NAWEC is giving the money to do this. But practically, we are not giving that money. But the project on road construction did make a calculation. These are some of the things that we need to do to be able to do a proper road.
Right. There was no agreement or any sort.
No, that's where I was trying to put it. What I'm saying is OIC had funds for NAWEC. And then, as I said, those funds were not only like funds to say, okay, to stabilize only electricity. No, it's a process. We have the water sector, you have the electricity sector, and then a lot of things had happened within that. And all those jobs, some are completed. The major part is not complete, it's ongoing. So the reason that we had a load shedding because due to, as he said, as Per rightly said, we don't have a problem of capacity, but because the infrastructure. If you look at it also, as he mentioned, the World Bank also came in. Even while the OIC was going, the World Bank came. That's the JAM project. You will understand the restoration and modernization, which we are not new to it anymore. You can see there's a lot of changes, and still there are still works ongoing. But the funds that were allocated is both for electricity and water, and as we speak, those jobs are ongoing. Up to this minute, this weekend, in fact, there will be a shutdown for a contractor to connect one of the transformers. So it's a process. Yes, funds have been given. But I'm not privy
tell us how much
exactly. And then what was but like a document that was said, a memorandum of understanding, no. I didn't come across that since the inception up to today. Yes.
So let's talk about the capacity of the, is it the transmitters that you were talking about? What is their capacity? And if at all, can we have bigger transmitters that can carry maybe a lot of loads without, being able to, shut down one part before? Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I said, some of these transformers, they are built to cater for a certain capacity. And if you give them more than they can take, they can trip off. And when they trip off, they can cause a lot of trouble for NAWEC to incur some sort of funds to buy a new one. But during the OIC preparation, those transformers that we know they were overloaded, starting from the OIC center to Cape Point, many of them we did procure bigger ones of bigger capacity where they were able to accommodate people within the OIC center. And as we speak, I think we have also a project to look at areas. There are areas, as she said, even where she lives, where people, connected to those transformers are just many. The reason being when those transformers were being installed in those areas, the area was not densely populated as they are today. So, and now, as we are saying, every Gambian, whoever lives in the Gambia, has the right to access to electricity. We cannot say no to applications. So all we are doing is we made an assessment of all the transformers within the greater Banjul areas, the ones that are always in trouble, because during the peak periods when everybody is on board, they need electricity. Those transformers cannot provide electricity to everybody because we risk losing them. And as a result, you see people going to transformers and knocking some lines out to be able to stabilize the situation. And sometimes this is why when you're at home, you see electricity going on and off in a certain area. It is a signal telling NAWEC that this area, the amount of electricity you will supply the transformer to supply to the beneficiaries are too much. And the sign is telling you that the transformer is overloaded. You need to knock it out. Otherwise, you risk losing the transformer. So NAWEC is working, and I think they have begun changing some of those transformers to make sure that they stabilize. If it is taking more than it is supposed, they either buy one of a bigger capacity or they buy a smaller one and try to decongest some of the lines from that transformer to a new one so that the system stabilizes.
So where does this take us as a country? Because we are talking about sustainability here, which I think is very important. We had the summit, and some parts of the country were disrupted in terms of electricity and water. And we are talking about here access to universal access to electricity by 2025. How sustainable is that? If just one summit can make people not have electricity for 8 hours or more, how sustainable is the whole initiative?
Thank you, Julia. The sustainability, that's what we are working on, as Ped rightly said. But what is happening is, you see, OIC is one thing, and then if we are to organize another one, maybe come next year, we will not have this load shedding issue. We are upgrading, because I said it's working. If you look at the most of these primary substations were on 5 meg, but now most of them are now changing. Mile 5 is moved to 10 meg, and then you go to Medina substation, it is now about 10 meg. Is connected. This weekend, the contractor is connecting again another 10 meg. So what is happening is this is it will going to be sustainable, as you ask. What is going to happen? What is happening right now is already, as we said, we have the capacity, the infrastructure that is now depriving us to transport that energy that have been already funds are available and those works are ongoing. That is the modernization. If you take a look at Kotu Tank, I think we visited there, you realize that before the tripping you used to have around the Manja area is no more happening anymore. And that one, you will see the T lines coming. They are not ready because the connection is coming up to Kotu Power Station, but for now it's at Kotu Tank. And also we have a national control center, because what is happening is all these things are happening manually. Okay, but now with the help of the control center, everything will be centered. It's going to be very easy to be at the control center, to be able to read even Banjul from Brikama to understand which load is there. So as I said, before 2025, we didn't deviate from that yet. We said 2025 and we are still in 2024.
This is 2024.
Yeah, but what is the access here? Let me clear this. When we say access to electricity, that is one component for everybody to have access to electricity too. Now, to have the reliability is another one.
That's where the problem is.
No, that's where also, we already understand that. That's why I said we are working to make sure that all those transformers and substations are fully equipped so that that demand coming will be able to, because up to date, not everybody is connected to the grid. And we expect every day we are connecting people. So we are aware of that scenario.
We have made our calculation
Yeah.
in relation to the target of 2025. And this is why we have so many projects, especially up country. Just about a month ago, we just started a new project of about 297 villages up country around the Soma area to get electricity. Whoever lives within the radius of about 100 kilometers, you should be able to access electricity. Okay, what is happening is we have looked at what are the possibilities of meeting 2025. And not only nationally, but regionally. This is why we have the OMVG, we have the WAP. We also come to realize that, as I said, the network infrastructure is old. And again, in relation to getting electricity from other countries like Senegal, the system has to change to be up par with the maximum capacity they need to connect now. You can see here and there sometimes when you connect Senegal, there is some stripping. And this is why we look at the network infrastructure, the substations, as Buba said, at Jabang are being built to make sure that whoever is coming, either OMVG, either Senegal, either WAP, should be able to be compatible with the current system that we have, and then sending electricity to the local people wouldn't be a problem. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we've received a message. The cost as per unit is very expensive. I mean,
are you talking about the tariff?
Yes.
Anyway, I think the tariff, I'm sure it's a full man asking about this tariff. Yes, it is happening. It's expensive here, but the problem we need to understand, as I said earlier, and I will keep repeating it, the market is the problem. What we need to produce electricity, that is what is expensive. Because you can see, the oil price and all other things have gone high. And then now it took us almost 8 years before we can increase tariff. And then definitely tariff would have been more than this if the government did not intervene.
We keep on
Thanks
saying,
to the government's intervention, that's why we are now selling at that 13.86, 87 butts for now. But if not the government's intervention, we would have gone more. And then what I'm emphasizing here is NAWEC did not add the tariffs making profit as we speak. No. We are only covering operational cost.
Yeah, we always tell people that the charges on the tariff do not even reflect the realities of our daily operations. The money that we need to be able to operate 24/7 is not what we are getting from the business of selling cash for, or even paying bills for water. Okay, as he said, in most cases, government will have to intervene to help us. Otherwise, there will be certain days when we would not have electricity. And again, people need to understand that it is not NAWEC making just come up one day and decide to say we are going to increase the tariff. It goes through a lot of procedures. When NAWEC needs to change the tariff, what we do, we have to write to PIRA through government, and PIRA will also have to call in a customer gathering where we will have to make a report to tell people this is why we are going to increase our tariff. We are going through these challenges. And then after that, PIRA will give all the documents to PIRA to review and look at it. Sometimes they would say, if you are saying a kilowatt is $10, that's too much for the consumers. We will approve, but you have to make it $8. Or they would even say $10 according to your report is small. Let us make it $12 so that it will be able to meet your daily cost and operations. So it is not our making, because we don't unilaterally take that decision to tell customers, pay us this when you want to buy.
They have to take a process.
It goes a process,
Yes.
and it has to go through some process.
Exactly, but I mean, if at all we are getting it constantly, we don't mind paying extra charges as well. Julde,
I mean,
what is more important
very
if the
important
service is well provided?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because NAWEC has a very important role as far as development is concerned.
True.
Because along the line, those days of load shedding, you've seen that businesses are affected, industries are affected, and that is not really helpful, in the country. So, and Luma they gis online during that time is this NAWEC do ni ñu ngi defante Mr. Baji, you are on the keyboard, but they want okay, if you are not satisfied with our services, you can return our meters. I was like, what is wrong with this?
Not at all.
What is wrong with this Jola man?
Not at all. Somebody infiltrated our page and falsely, this.
Okay.
This one fuller man, because he called himself Uncle Babu. The Babus are always fullers. He called himself Uncle Babu and then, portrayed to be Nawek. We even sent a message out there to our Facebook page and to say, no, it is not us. We can never do that. We can never do that.
I'm surprised that.
No, we are,
okay, if you are not satisfied, you can return
absolutely.
meters. My fellow people, let's go back to kerosene.
No, absolutely. If you look at the post and look at the Nawek post, you see the difference. We have a standard way of sending our information. And also this guy's news is very different. So he's just there, instigate whatever false information he's doing. We did that. We discussed it at the management level. Even our MD was aware, he saw it, and we sent a press release to that. But not to also take much about the Nawek operations as you are talking. Our main mission today is to thank everybody. Thank both the media, the organizers, the secretariat of the OIC, also thanking the president, because His Excellency, this is one of the biggest events that our Gambia have ever hosted, as far as I know, because I've been here for some time now, I think. We also thank him being assuming the position of a chairman to such a bigger group. This is not for him alone, but for me, it's like the whole Gambia. And then we at Nawek also are proud to say thank you, and then we owe it to our customers that fell into the load shedding period due to this OIC. We are appealing and we are saying to them, we are so sorry. We know people, I saw some messages, I am hypertension, give me light. I felt it. It's too bad.
Oh.
May Allah forgive us.
Yes,
but as the managing director said, this is not something that is going to continue. This was just for a period.
Yes.
And we are hoping that come next events, no, we will not go to the then we will graduate from this.
Before buñ génnee tuuti dañ dee accuse Nawek.
Yeah.
Dañ dee ne Nawek soo demee seen kër yi ñoom dañ dee am light.
Wow.
Soo demee seen kër yi. I am a witness.
I
went to one of your managing directors' event.
Yeah.
Dama toog rek light
them. Very good.
Man dama foogoon ne.
Waaw.
Foofu laay du musa dem.
Waaw.
Waaye dama dem ma toog ba si digga. It was a wedding, sort of.
Yes.
Not long ago.
Not long ago. I remember.
MD.
I know what you are talking.
maa ngi toog rek.
Bruce bi.
Waaw rek Nawek dem taj. Rek ma ne suma boy bi ma ne ko ne boy dañ dee tooñ Nawek de. And this is the guy.
Problem. Nawek amuñ a different source. For your suppliers and send staff. We're getting electricity from where every other person is getting electricity. Luñ am rek mooy we have some feeders yoo xam ne duñ ko dee disclose. We call them feeders yi nga xam ne they are dedicated feeders. And feeders yooyu daf dee nekk ci béréb yi nga xam ne there are maybe hospitals, security installations, street lights, etc. waaye yow boo dëkkee ci corridor boobu noonu te transformer buñ laa connect boobu moo dee supply electricity or water or whatever yow di nga lokki nga am courant boobu uninterrupted. Man, I live in Yuna. The lines yi jógee Yuna more than 20 boreholes. And electricity, what we use to evacuate water from boreholes to the treatment plant. So man Yuna, even during the OIC, man yegu man nit ñi dañ leen fay. Waaye ku fa dëkk dañoo foog ne PR because he's a PR. He lives in Yuna.
I live next to the airport. Xam naa loolu tam moo nekk suma advantage.
Loolu advantage la.
Man luñ dee light duma ko dee feel.
Waaye lu buuba wax rek is we send a prior information load shedding dina am. I think the information did not go well with people, and the misinterpretation also happened because ak no janga bo send the information ki dina have a different understanding of how ninga ko binde ak kenen but all said and done dañ ko def in the spirit of the Gambianness ne dañ buga to host this OIC degala a lot of people had wanted also to get to their TV, see what are some of the things that are happening at the OIC, but it did not happen. Why then Kodef? Because Turi Gambia this is not about Adama Barrow, this is not about a minister, this is not about the National Assembly, it's not about but it's for the entire Gambia.
Yes.
So this is why within a short period, it was just 3 days. And we are saying we are sorry about what had happened, but we do it in the name of this country.
True.
And we are trying to say also build up with all the things that we have already put in place. We're going to build up to make sure that those areas that have been hard hit and they continue to have some load shedding, the Metitulunere, I think work will continue, as I said. OIC is gone, but the projects that have started for OIC will continue.
Exactly. So finally, let's talk about this. We've also seen the solar lights on the highway. Do you have a component supporting solarization?
No. The street solar lights are not NAWEC. Especially with this OIC route, no. They are completely their project. NAWEC is not sending any source to that. We have our solar system that is now pumped into the grid for that. And then, traditionally also all street lights were connected to NAWEC. And then, but these present new street lights are not connected to NAWEC. They are all solar. You can see even light goes of those street lights are on. So, Jarama to the OIC for that one, yes.
But
definitely,
when there is a problem with street lights. But we keep telling them, street lights are under the custody of the National Roads Authority. Even if when NAWEC was connecting them, they have to do their own job, erect their street lights, everything, and they come to NAWEC to pay a chunk of money for them to be energized. So everything that has to do with street lights is under the NRA.
Yes, thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on the program. We appreciate. Although legi ñu am nahar ni NAWEC ni na, why NAWEC suñ NAWEC la? It's our NAWEC. And considering the fact that the amount of people that you are supplying electricity and water, it's a lot. So we need to bear with them time to time. Hamna ñu bari ñu ngene balde bul wax lolu. Waye dañoo muñal gaay rek tam because at some point, li yeb dina je.
So balde, a lot of work has been put in place for the OIC. There were dedicated staff who worked relentlessly. 72 hours they were doing the job. The management, the board were also on their neck to make sure that everything went well. And I think I need to thank them in this forum to say they have shown their solidarity, they have shown their patriotism as Gambians, because most of them had sleepless nights. I would also thank the head of state, as he said, for putting up that enabling environment to make sure that we host this in peace and then go in peace, and also thanking him for taking the leadership of the OIC. It is applause for the Gambia, applause for the region, and applause for the entire world.
Thank you. Thank you very much, viewers. We'll take a short break. After the break, the Click segment. Be reminded, our sponsors, Lido, Olinda Tea, and Cow Milk. We'll be right back.
Money is back again with an offer of a lifetime. You can now buy Sunyu Bundle data packages directly from your Q Money wallet for half the price. Get all Sunyu Bundle packages from 20 megabytes to 20 gigabytes and enjoy the biggest internet data discount in the market. Just dial *323# now, choose option 4 and start buying your favorite Sunyu Bundle package half the price only with Q Money. Pay less and stay connected with the most reliable internet service in the Gambia. For more information, call 133 Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia, now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Never before in the Gambia, QCell is giving you an unbeatable offer. Activate our 5G network on your 5G-enabled phone and enjoy free internet for 7 days. Yes, you heard that right. Activate QCell's 5G on your phone and experience what true 5G internet feels like. Get your QCell SIM cards activated today at the following care centers: Banjul, Senegambia, Brikama, Bulsobi Turntable, Bakau Airport, and Kairaba Avenue headquarters. Rush now and be part of the future with QCell's 5G. Free internet for 7 days only with QCell. For more information, call QCell Customer Care on 111. QCell Sunubus. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply. Looking for the perfect place to promote your product or place your advert? Look no further than QTV. We are the premier destination for businesses looking to connect with Gambian audiences and beyond. At QTV, we offer a variety of advertising solutions to suit your needs and budget. With our diverse range of programming, you can be sure that your ad will reach a broad and engaged audience. From our popular news broadcast to our exciting music and entertainment programming, QTV has something for everyone. QTV, the premier destination for advertising in the Gambia. Contact us today and let us help you reach your audience. Looking for the perfect place to promote your product or place your advert? Look no further than QTV. We are the premier destination for businesses looking to connect with Gambian audiences and beyond. At QTV, we offer a variety of advertising solutions.
Welcome back. You are watching QTV this morning. Now let's move to the last segment of this program. That's the click segment, and I have my brother Churchill Balde. Sumargana arbi la min nak.
But R.
Why you wear it?
R
means rat. R for rat.
No. R means revolution.
Oh lo diga. It's rat.
Good morning from wherever you are watching us from. This is your boy right here, Churchill Balde. Sorry, yo man, no more a boy. I've grown.
Julde mune yo ya ko de drip king la.
Gisulo sa so baye hel sa ñun
Wa da ngeen xawa helmati.
Legi mo fi nek ni mo nek drip queen. Nga man may drip king, drip queen. So of course we're not here alone. We're here with one of the biggest, should I say, in the entertainment industry right now in the Gambia, one of the biggest promoter, Sticky B, organizer of the best. But today, his partner is not here, so I don't know why. Welcome to the platform.
My partner is sleeping, you know. Yeah, assalamu alaikum world. Good morning, you know. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm a big fan of the morning show, you know.
Oh,
yeah, I'm a big fan, you know.
Good to go.
Good to be here, and I'm really honored.
So is this your first time on the morning show regarding Best of the Best, or you've been here before?
Yes, this is my first time on the morning show for the Best of the Best.
Nice. Then it's going to get lit. We're going to have interesting session.
I know.
So walk us through the preparation towards the Best of the Best.
Yes, it's happening this coming Saturday. Best of the Best concert for addiction. The whole country is anticipating, and this is the only platform whereby you bring your top Gambian artists together, and then the one night and one stage, one microphone. Then we're trying to bring that unity between the artists and the fans as well. So far, and the preparation is going good. The tickets are out, and then fans are rushing, buying tickets. You know, the artists are making their videos, posting, updating fans. You know, and then it's looking good. You know, yeah, we are anticipating for a bigger crowd.
Nice. So what I want to know is, what qualifies an artist to be on that platform? Like, what is the merit?
Hard work, you know. Like, you have to be consistent on what you are doing, you know. If you're not consistent, this is why we call it best of the best.
Okay.
You know, so like within the 2 years or within the particular year, you really have to need to have a project, either a video trending, or you do even at your area, you launch your album or EP, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so that also is part of the reasons why you have to be part of best of the best, you know. Why if you are wait for a while, we might cheat on the fans, you know.
Okay.
So we always want to make sure that anyone we put on the show, we have something to say. Okay, we put Mr. X there, but Mr. X is having this product and is running, and fans are following, you know. Yeah.
So artists that are not on the platform, like, how do they receive this? Like, do you receive criticism from artists, like, directly?
Of course.
Yeah. And how do you respond to those criticisms?
We'll respond to them, bro, sorry, you could not make it on the list, but we are hoping that next year you might be part of it if you work hard, you know. No disrespect, you know, but we cannot put all artists in one show. Hamga Gambia, we have 1 million artists, you know. You know. So, you know, but then I'm not saying the one we choose, they are the only best artists. But these are the lucky ones to be part of this year's Best of the Best.
Okay.
And last year, so wholly the list was 18 men artists, and this year we bring in only 13 men acts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned last year, and we know what happened.
Exactly.
You know, so what are you doing, or what steps are you taking to make sure that this one is a better version of the Best of the Best?
Well, we just trying to overcome our last year mistakes. You know, last year, yeah, it was a whole mess.
Okay.
You know, and then we accept the mistake, and then we are also ready to give a good event. We have to cross borders.
True.
So we make all plans to make so what happened will not repeat itself. You know, yeah, and then we are really ready for it.
So one scenario stands out regarding last year's Best of the Best, which is the Bahamas case.
Yeah.
And we've seen that this time around he's not part of the Best of the Best list. Is it safe to say that it was because of what happened, or did you reach out to him regarding this Best of the Best?
Not really what happened. Brahma is a brother. Like we sort that thing out.
Okay.
After that scenario, after the show, myself have to take a phone and call him and communicate to him. And Brahma even is one of those artists who make it so easy for us to have him on the list. He never link us to one of his managers. We talk to him directly with a flexible price. Yeah.
Okay.
So we good, and then nothing personal, you know. Yeah, but then Nafans, you understand, it's not because of the issue. That's why we did not bring him. No, he might be there next year, you know. But there is nothing personal between us and him.
There's no specific reason to
no specific reason to worst it. Last year, Hamon, we all know Brahma is cool, so Gisem, we went to the extent of reacting. He was pushed.
Okay.
You understand? Like, that's the truth.
And you accept responsibility
of course, yes, I have to, because it was our event, so we are responsible of anything that happened, whether it succeed or it failed. It's us. We are the organizers, so we accept it. So this is why we have to call him and apologize to him. He also apologized, and he regretted what he did. He appeared on different platforms and said, "Look, happened on my Jegalu." So myself, I feel bad for that. You know why?
I've even seen him apologizing publicly on social media.
He's a cool guy, you know. He regretted doing it in time and show. We have misunderstanding with artists. You know, we want to maintain that peace, love, and unity among us, you know.
So what strategy are you using, or what is your formula for longevity? Because we've seen over the years that you've been organizing this show like regularly, annually, should I say. But there was a time that we had a similar platform, which was the open mic, and at some point it died down. What are you doing to make sure that what happened to the open mic doesn't happen to the Best of the Best?
Okay, you know, the motivation also, one of the motivation come from open mic. You know, they motivated us too to bring this platform, because we were always subcontracted by them to be part of the open mic team. Myself, since open mic started, I have been working with them. You know, so we get the motivation and inspiration from them, and also the hard work from the artists, you know. And we're trying to it's almost the same when you look at it, you know, but we don't really want to do exactly what open mic was doing. If you look at last year, we come up with a live band. We said, okay, live band is not the best for this show as of now. Let's try to build until we have what we want. Then we try to bring up the live band. Yeah.
So how are ticket sales going on right now so far?
Ticket sales are going good, you know, it's going good, you know, and then fans are calling, you know, the ticket agents are calling, you know, Hegna, Dengma, Kola, the Mala call, Elegana, Elenga, Yokalma tickets and stuff, you know. So it's good looking, you know, because artists is on your TA show, you know. That's what make it so easy for us, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we know ST wasn't part of it. I don't want to make this interview centered towards ST, because this is not about ST. This is a government thing, you know. But we should also make references to what happened. He wasn't part of the list last year, but this time around, he's part of the list.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
You know, every good promoter, you always want to have one of the biggest or top artists in your show, you know.
True.
Us having ST in our show is a big win for us, you know. Last year, he could not make it because of one or two reasons, you know, because we talked to him personally, tell him, bro, I'm sorry, this time I will not make it at the Best of the Best, but let's look at next year. We will sit down and try to have some discussion. And we did rightly what he said. We respect his decision, you know. But fancies we are talking ST Nyawul because of this, that, you know, ST Dunyo Munala, this is the reason why I did not come. And secondly, just na netame dafa amon show that very day, you know what I mean? So, but nothing personal, you know, bro. Yeah, it's just the business mindset more for you know. So when we talk about business, we go for business, you know. you know, ST always want to be part of Best of the Best, you know. Yeah.
And Best of the Best Sokohole is one of the biggest, should I say, the biggest musical platform.
Kanga don't def Best of the Best again ST Ziga now. So ñun like it's cool with ñun sa. Yeah, cool with ñun. But then he's really anticipating this year because definitely boss when the music is gonna rain that day.
So
he's ready.
Good.
So is it only about music? You're not focusing in other sectors of the entertainment like comedy?
Yes, we have some TikTokers that are coming.
Okay.
There will be, in fact, we contacted some of them. And then if you
promoting
see,
the event.
promoting
Yeah,
the
I've
event,
seen
and
that.
we will create a special platform for them on stage, you know. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the event itself. What is happening that day? Because there are fans here and there that are looking at it as a competition point of view.
Yeah.
But you are here, so we want to hear from the horse's mouth. Tell us how you're organizing this.
Best of the Best, our concept is not competing the artists, but I know the fans will always say this.
Yeah.
My artist is the best. You understand? Lolo mom ñun duñ ko mëna stop. You know, but for us, we want them to deliver to the fans the maximum because that's what we have on the contract. If we give you 10 minutes, do not play less than 10 minutes. Give us that 10 minutes, and that 10 minutes you have to deliver to expectation, you know. Come, okay, it's a competition there because they see the black and white T-shirt, the group A and group B. So I'm not the boss. I'm in for group A. I'm in for group B. Mangi team black, mangi team white. But it's looking good, you know. Lolo is a win for the industry. Being aga level be whereby they are trying
and a good PR for you guys because it means people are constantly talking about this.
Yeah, because
so Lolo mo len a favor.
Lolo you have to branding be like, you know, when you brand an event, it's always like that. The fat trend. I was like, inside, boy, everybody's talking about it. But
exactly.
It's the good job that we put in on the show. Even we don't go over our respect. So we don't joke with the branding. The artists, honestly, they make it very easy for us. Taking those artists to studio, you know, definitely photo shoot, definitely send video about the studio. It's not an easy thing, you know.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy like that.
It's not
so
easy
for
like that.
people like me who have never attended the Best of the Best, inspire me to want to attend.
This time.
Yeah, this time around. What are you going to do differently?
Like differently for you?
No,
differently, yeah.
Okay.
From the previous ones.
I want to be motivated to be able to attend this one for the first time. So motivate me to want to go there on Saturday.
I think we are going to say like the first artist that's going to open this is going to be a female artist then.
Wow.
Female empowerment.
Of course. Yes. So I think that will also okay. A lady is opening the show, and because you are there, because most of the time we don't have that.
So can you give a name? Who is the lady? Or is going to be a surprise?
Surprise.
I can make it a surprise, but that is if she comes.
And how many women are participating?
We have 2 of them.
Yeah.
Only 2.
The Miss Jobis and our Gambia.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm Gambia, like 90% of the artists is gold. Yeah, 10%.
It's a male-dominated industry.
So exactly.
No,
so
and Hamgatam, at some point, I think you need to follow standard. Hamga standardizing these things, they are very important in whatever you do. Neck with every Tom, Dick and Harry, because certain things happen and Nini didn't kill more definitely. Keep on for some artists, Munna bring down the level of the thing. Understand?
Yeah.
Well, only if Julde can do a new story. When she goes, she can also create a new story and bring it on QTV.
Yeah.
What will you give them in return, Julde? Yeah, so finally.
Artists on stage, are they coming in pairs or one after the other?
No, Lolo Demakobuga by surprise. Yeah, because they are seeing the black and white, so they are thinking Mr. X and Mr. X will meet on stage at the same time. But it's gonna be amazing.
So Julie, that answers your question.
Yeah.
I'm got 2 answers right now.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, lang puro QCell for empowering this event.
Yeah, we want to say thank you QCell for the sponsor, and then nyom is a letter fee. I think it took us less than a week to approve the sponsor. Yeah, and Lolo, we are so glad. And shout out to Mr. Kebe, you know, the manager, you know, of QCity. Yeah, like Kebe is a very good brother. QCity themselves, we have a very good working relationship with them. Me personally, so that funnel is like one Gambian thing, you know. So Gambian, you know, the Gambian artists in Jabal, let them work hard. Like there's a room for them, you know. So and then also what I would say, let them come early to the show. The show performance start by 11 p.m.
Exactly.
11 p.m. upcoming artists yi ñooy door. We have some guest DJs at dafa tombe ak Bob Marley Day tamit xam nga rek. They bring some reggae dancehall vibes and stuff, you know. So it's gonna be an amazing night.
You still have a fireman.
DJ Fireman, of course.
How can you leave the legend?
How
can you leave the legendary Fireman out?
This is fireman. This is
only best of the
man. Fireman more than man vibe for you. Man old school. Thank you very much. Thank you. The surprise now. The one you're